Hello, YouTube. Do you ever watch those weird TikTok videos when you're watching a building get destroyed and you're like, wow, that's really cool? Or you're looking at like an ancient ruins and you're thinking, wow, what happened here? Well, you're about to look at an Idle Heroes account that has a lot in common with that. We're looking at a building site today. That's right. Massive, massive destruction. Swathes of dead. We're looking at what could be only comparable to a massive, massive massacre. And we're staring out at no man's land going, oh my word, what happened to all my friends? That's what today is. Yep, it's an account that has gone and massacred absolutely everything. But like all beautiful things, where there is mass amounts of carnage and death, for some reason, people are fascinated to watch it, and no doubt, rebirth and renewal is inevitable. So without further ado, let's look at today's account, belonging to Farley McDoodle. Farley is level 120, and her account was going great. She was building some cool heroes, investing in what she thought was a smart decision, and then she watched an MK video. And then she watched another one, and then she watched another one, and just like watching gym videos, you realize you've been lifting the weights all wrong. We have got ourselves an E5 Eloise who is tier 3, a 10-star Penny, and an absolute massacre pit where heroes were once existing. That's right, the Eloise is the flower in the dirt who has risen amongst the dead, and everything else that happened, I cannot begin to put my finger on it. I say that, really, it was probably a Garuda. I don't like Garuda. You can build her as a first E5, that's totally fine, it'll knock the gate of the void, but typically I think she's pretty poop. Farley was pretty much in agreement because, well, I'm guessing this was once a Garuda. Was it? If it was, brilliant. My nose has succeeded at smelling a dead Garuda. Oh, come on, it was down. Ah! Whoa, you B-minused her? Oh, it was definitely a Garuda. No. Wow. Oh. That's, yep, there we go. Let the carnage begin. That's brilliant. E5 Garuda, B-. I would have kept her around. That's the savage thing about this. I'm looking at a ruin and going, such a shame. I would have probably kept the B- Garuda around. She would have been pretty good. Not that she would have been better than a D Eloise, that's for sure. But look at this damage. We got 9 stars, we got 6 stars, we got 10 stars just hanging around. Sometimes people get overexcited and just bonk, 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 smash away at everything they've got because they heard they weren't that great. When in reality, they then realize they've got nowhere to go with all this food, because inside heroes is food, and you can crack them open like a beautiful egg at any point to receive that food. But if you have nothing to do with the food, it's silly, right? There's no point breaking eggs if you ain't baking a cake or an omelet or whatever other things you want to do with your eggs. Otherwise, you've just broken eggs. You don't go to the supermarket and break eggs and put them in the fridge. You break them when you need them, unless you're a psychopath. So what I see here is too many broken eggs, not enough omelets. So we need to go ahead and think about what we're going to do with all this food, Farley, right? That's definitely why you're here. You're like, to help me, I don't know where to go now. The reason you've got, help me, I don't know where to go, is because look at your elite shards. Or just your shards in general. We don't have a lot. And then if you go ahead and look at your bag and your chests, unless you wanted to go ahead and build a premature Transcendence hero, which would be a terrible idea, you don't really have much to do. So basically, Farley, what I see is I see an opportunity. Because even though we're getting a bit yelly, a bit shouty, and a bit cruel, even though jokes are coming at the strange decision you've made, it's actually not that bad. Because as soon as you get hero copies, the food will disappear. It will get hoovered up, just like an egg you've dropped on the ground, right? And once it's cleaned up, the mess is gone, no one will ever see it, and the food will just go inside someone else. The question is, who is that someone else? I see you're thinking about Penny. She would be an interesting addition. She's good at Aspen Dungeon. This is probably an I Watched Barry's free-to-play series thing. A lot of people like to build Penny alongside an Eloise, or I watched an old MK video where I speak about Penny rather fondly. But this is not a year ago, this is now, and I don't think Penny is a good follow-up to Eloise. She's a fine Follow-up, she is okay. Don't get me wrong, Farley. She is good. But she's not excellent. That's the key difference. Or should I say excellent, given that... No, it's not Easter. I can't get away with that many egg jokes. Anyway, Penny with a decent enough artifact should be able to do Aspen Dungeon if you wanted to continue building her, but you are in a weird position where you may be heavily tempted to pull pennies from chests. I would refrain when you get chests. I think there are better heroes for you to invest in that could have a little bit more potency. Ticks being one of them, Ithaca being another. Don't build them simultaneously though. That would be difficult. And you're trying to build Ticks but no hero copies. That's very common. Yeah, Ticks is probably difficult to pick up, especially if you're a fairly early player or you're fairly new and returning. So I wouldn't bully yourself again too much for not getting copies. It's just that what you've done through, you know, probably investing in quite a number of heroes, cracking open chests to build the Penny and the Garuda and whatever else you decided to go with, you'll probably find yourself now like, oh no, I have no heroes. And then of course Eloise went and sapped you dry because you had to get 9 Eloise copies somehow, and no doubt chests were the way, so that's what you're left with. Another thing to do is, I'm going to do it right now. Farley, you have 881 million gold. You have over, what's that, 1 million dust, but an agate stone on Eloise. So, let's go. Let's upgrade the Eloise, because this stone is going to be super duper strong. You'd be surprised the bonuses you get from a humble stone, and this is no different. So we're going to take this up, Farley. We're going to do this to make your Eloise hit nice and strong. So that's good. We got, okay, HP attack, holy damage. It's not the best. HP on a soul stone. We can keep going. We've got tons of gold. We got tons of dust. We got speed precision and dark sight. Thank you for the subscribe. And HP precision, that's not as good as I'd like it to be. So we're going to convert this. You get HP heal effect. Not great. Block attack. I'm going to keep this for now. I don't want to get your gold too low. But, Farley, hear me out. I want to stress it will be best for you to invest in HP attack when you feel comfortable swapping this further. Block attack is fine. It will increase Eloise's block to a point where we're clearly very high. It's 123, so clearly 28 is a little bit of a waste because we've gone 23 over, so we probably didn't need this. But you still get an attack bonus, you're getting a block bonus, and it was probably the best of what we had coming up. So I wouldn't complain too much about this, and I don't want to waste any more gold. That said, though, we need some more defensiveness on the Eloise. That's going to be really, really important. So if I look through your artifacts, do we have anything that gives her a little bit of protection? Anything with damage reduction or similar? So if I look here, do you have anything? The best you've really got is a mirror chain. That does not excite me. That's a bit rubbish. So, okay. I think you already know this at this point, given you've watched some of my videos, but I'm going to say it for you now and for the viewers at home. The best thing you can grab here to improve the defensiveness and power of your Eloise is a Golden Crown artifact. It gives you damage reduction, it gives you HP, and it gives you attack. It is a very versatile choice that you can just put in this slot, and by having it, Eloise will get more survivability. A hero to consider whilst you're saving copies of Ticks is, like I say for any early account, a 9-star Ignis. I would make this your priority over anybody else right now. Forget about the Ticks. We want a 9-star Ignis. With a 9-star Ignis and nothing else, you can have a control immune Eloise who will breeze through a ton of game modes, Farley. That'd be really, really good. And you got one artifact chest and chose a Punisher of Immortal. You should have got the Golden Crown. Very true. You should have done indeed. But you got the Punisher. I'm not going to beat you up for it because at the end of the day, you can't undo the mistakes of the past. So we've got a 9-star Delasium. This you can surprisingly keep around. He's not going to reap you benefits now, but as soon as you build an Ithaca to E5 or, you know, maybe not even that high, you can go ahead and use the Ithaca in conjunction with the Delasium, and the Delasium, with this little passive here, will replicate damage over time to multiple enemies, and keep this replication going over and over and over and over again, and eventually continue the duration of it as well with his active skill. And that will only improve the damage of Ithaca because it makes the damage over time really, really potent. So that'd be nice. And yeah, there's an artifact swap event coming up in the future. You can swap that Punisher to a crown if you want to. After the crown, and I mean just a singular crown, you probably want to go with some melodic strings to give damage to the heroes that you choose to build later on, whether that's Tix, whether that's Ithaca. You can give them a little bit more bite. A hero to consider in the Dark faction as well would be a 9-star Drake and a 10-star Carry. I talk about these in quite some depth in other videos, some others not so much, but a 10-star Carry, once improved up to E5, will of course be a tenant for Eloise and steal energy from Garudas, who will probably give you some trouble in the Realms Gate. So being able to steal their energy, really good. And in Vortex, it's invaluable as well. Once you go ahead and get a 10-star Carry, you will be able to have 6-star dummies given to you through the Glory Challenge, and those 6-star dummies will be able to be used in the future to build a 9-star Drake. And there you go. You'll be pushing your progress forwards and getting yourself some decent Dark heroes to help you out. As for light heroes, I would save these up. You don't need to rush them because there are a myriad of light heroes that can do their own Seal Land. We have Russell, Eos, and that's just to name 2. There will be others. Heck, I even did it with a Gurk, and not in a sexy way. So yeah, that was good fun. So there are plenty of ways you can go ahead and clear light Seal Land. Some are easier than others, and you just need to save until you have 9 copies of someone to make them to E5. Farley. As for the Abyss faction, we've mentioned the 9-star Righnus, we've mentioned the Delacium. Waldeck would be a good investment, and it seems like you agree. You've gone ahead and made them 6-star. And Fortress is a little bit all over the place, but you can use a Noske as food, you can use Flamestrike as food, you can use Penny as food if you really wanted. And I would stockpile Holmes Young copies to go ahead and ideally build him as your E5 for the Fortress faction, because Holmes Young is probably the most aggressively versatile of all of the heroes. You get good CC, you get excellent performance in the Seal Land, generally a really, really good hero worth considering. Now, we should have Seal Land 20 beaten in Shadow, we absolutely do, so no mistakes made there. And apart from that, yeah, the account's actually going rather well. I do have to admit, though, that this carnage down here of the 9 stars and 10 stars is pretty hefty eyesore, but once we can hoover all this food up, which we will do as soon as we have a hero with copies to make them E1, 2, 3, 4, etc., that's great. Keep this Rogan at 9-star, the passive is fine, you don't need to take him any higher at this moment, and yeah, just keep persevering through, keep building heroes, and try not to build too many 9 stars like you've been doing that you don't intend on using as food, because by having a 7-star Ithaca and a 6-star Tix, you've used a lot of shadow food to build both of those. Like, not too much, it's 4 for Tix and 8 for Ithaca, but if Tix is your priority, that could have been 8 5-star shadow heroes that you could have gone ahead and used to upgrade the Tix. So just be mindful that investing in multiple heroes from the same faction simultaneously is unwise, because it slows your progress in either, especially when you're stretching thin for food, and you don't really want to feed on Kiramaru or Annabelle or heroes like that, so you're going to have to leave them in the bag. So just be mindful of that, Farley, as you move forwards. But again, don't start upgrading this Ithaca higher until you have the Ithaca copies. I know there was like 1 in the bag, but even a 9-star Ithaca is not going to reinvent the wheel. We're looking for something with a little more bite. And either that's going to be an E5 Ithaca, not a 9-star, or an E5 Tix, whichever you get the 9 copies of, and I'm hoping it's going to be Tix. So just stockpile your chests until you're ready to build him, and in the meantime, focus on food. So, a few last things to discuss then. Farley has asked about Realms Gate, but before we talk about that, let's look at this bag real quick. I want to commend you. You have 479 Heroic Summon Scrolls, which for an account that looks like it's made a few mistakes, is actually a pretty good number as we approach holiday season. Keep on saving them. Hopefully we can get to 900 or 1,000, and that number will be good enough to hopefully get you an artifact. So good job here. Keep stockpiling and grabbing them in. We also have a good amount of Celestial Island materials, which once you do get a Void 4 Eloise, will be used to improve our homes. We're going to need some tenants for that though, so just be mindful that tenants will make a big difference when they're added, but you do need to build them first. So that's going to be Tix, Carry, Ithaca, and Friends. And the other point is, I guess, your profit orbs. You have 132 of them. Again, keep on saving, wait for a good event, and then cash them all in. So yeah, just keep on cracking on, keep your ear down to the community, and make sure you know when a good event comes. I'm also seeing only 685,000 Crystals of Transcendence, but plenty of Stellar Shards, because if we look, I believe Eloise had some imprints. Yeah, wow! She was Void 3. So you've definitely been pulling for Stellar and not Crystals. So excellent job with that one. Definitely following the right path there. And yeah, let's go take a look at the Realms Gate, which is Void Corruption 10. So basically, we want to keep this at Void Corruption 11. That would be really, really good. Then again, there may be an opponent that you're struggling against. Oh no, we just want to move on to the next stage. That's actually great then. So we're going to go and move to the next stage. Enter. And then that looks nice. So we're going to back out. And then we're going to improve the level of this to Void Corruption 11. And basically, this is what you would do here in the Realms Gate. Every time you beat a stage, improve the Void Corruption up, and hopefully the fights are still going pretty nicely. So if we go ahead and throw in, let's say, Eloise with the Penny, we'll put in a few 10 stars to help us out. I'm still going to put in the Ignis to give us some control immunity. It's not going to give us loads, but we'll have something at least. So they're next to each other. She's going to feed down to the Eloise. Penny's going back. Rogan's going back. Tix will just have a decent enough death passive. And I don't think anyone else is going to do anything significant. So I'll just put an Emily in. I will put in the Phoenix pet. Whoa! You've got an 120 wolf and 160 Phoenix. Finish the Phoenix! No. Bad. Anyway, let's carry on. Let's finish the Phoenix by attacking with the Phoenix. And let's see the result. So can we beat this? We should be okay. I think Eloise will have enough crack to deal with this. If she doesn't, it's probably an issue with her protection. But whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, Eloise just ate this for breakfast. Yeah, that was no issue at all. That was pretty good. Now, I think Forest might be an issue because Garuda sucks poo-poos. So let's see how this goes. And you realize too late. That's okay. To be fair, you could have stuck with Wolf and it wouldn't have been too bad. But now that you've committed to Phoenix, I would probably just, if you really need the food, regress the Wolf. And then use that to upgrade the Phoenix. Because you can do that. You can rebirth pets. Now, looking at how this went, wow, you dealt with the Garuda no problem. So a lot of my fears have been cast aside. Eloise is doing fine. So yeah, basically, as you go through Realms Gate, that's what you need to do. Just keep fighting these things, get it beaten, and then take the Void Corruption up, and just keep increasing that. And you say it's a waste of gold. I mean, what? And 120 Wolf is useful? Like, it's gone. The gold is spent. Buyer's remorse. Raven, it's buyer's remorse. Are we ever going to finish the Wolf? Wouldn't you rather just build a ton of other pets before you finish Wolf? Like, I don't know, lion or snake or dragon? Like, at what point is it ever a good idea for us to build Wolf or finish him? Are we just going to sit with a level 120 that we're not going to use? Maybe. But yeah, I agree that you do lose all the gold that you've put in, but that gold is lost anyway, right? That's the important thing. That's a big warning about monsters. The moment you spend the gold to improve the monster, that gold is gone. It is removed from your account. So just think about that. And you could actually leave the wolf just hanging around, but I guess it's like for side teams and stuff. But I wouldn't. I think I'd just rebirth the wolf, finish Phoenix, and then focus on a different pet like lion, and then you can improve that. So yeah, you know what? The account's not bad. It's not terrible. Hopefully with that Realms Gate advice, you should be able to push forwards. When you start facing things that give you crowd control, that Ignis I mentioned, if you can get it to 9-star, that passive, I know it says 40% control immunity now, but trust me, when you go ahead and bump it up, it becomes much, much higher. Where is it? Oh, I can't show you because it's not upgraded, but it becomes 100% when it's 9-star, so that's really, really good. And then, yeah, just carry on pushing forwards, and your Eloise will hopefully pop. And as you add more heroes to the mix, and Garudas become problematic, Carry will steal their energy, Tix will silence them, and the team will stay on top of business. So yeah, overall, life is good. This account is going fine. I hate to see the destruction, but it is, of course, a necessary step as you progress this account into the future. Thank you for taking notes, Farley. Hopefully that's given you some stuff to work on. If you have any more questions, do let me know. Folks watching this video, if you have questions, drop them in the comments section. And yeah, I'll see you all next time. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, and happy idling.